Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. One of you actually inspired this audio, and I did talk about this earlier, I guess in Q&As or something, but I'm aware that most of you haven't heard that. So somebody asked me, what is it like to be, psychic, to be a spellcaster, to be a tarot reader? Um, and it's really hard to explain because you will kind of have most of the time you will feel really blessed and happy because this work is actually really beautiful, and if you focus only on the positive stuff, which I tend to do most of the time, it is really rewarding and it's really nice, and I always work with such beautiful people and my clients are amazing, and it's really nice. I really love it. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it because I do have a job, and yeah, there's I really do love it is what I'm trying to say. I do love it. uh, but then I was thinking about it, like the answer is not so simple, because there were so many times in my life when I tried to run away from it, and you can't, obviously. And once you kind of surrender and accept it, because it is what it is, it's what you're meant to do, it kind of becomes more beautiful because you kind of appreciate it and you are aware of the fact, okay, this is who I am, this is what I'm meant to do, and this is what I'm good at, and this is something that I can really feel on myself in a way, because it's so difficult to explain. But then again, it has so many bad sides as well. There's all sorts of people out there, and all sorts of prejudices, and all sorts of people, just being mean and horrible and stuff. And it can be difficult, but then you just remember that that's what everybody deals with pretty much, and that's life, and that is okay, and that's not something that I focus on because I know who I am, I know what I do, and I have so many, just grateful clients, and so many ongoing clients, and like obviously I am recognized by so many people, and those are the people that I focus on. So that was a journey to kind of get to this point, and I'm aware that this is something I had to experience, and a lesson in a way as well. And a lot of people experience things like this, and they're not necessarily psychics. so um, so I'm even grateful for the bad stuff, for the harsh stuff, um, and I understand why we have to go through those things, and it can be difficult to accept at first because you will feel like a victim. You will feel like, why me? This is not fair. And I'm not talking about myself only here, just like in general. I think that people in general, everybody has to go through some things, and everybody will feel like a victim while it's happening, sometimes, because it is not fair, right? It's not fair. None of it is fair. Illnesses, um, losses, breakups, getting fired, whatever it is. There's so many stuff that happen to everybody, and it feels so unfair because hey, it is, but it is there for a reason, and there's always a greater reason behind these things. And it is hard to accept that, even when you are aware, okay, this is for my own good in a way. It's just difficult to accept that because it's harsh and it feels uncomfortable. uh, so it does take, I think, a while for everybody to get to that point. And the other day, I don't remember which day it was. Monday. Yeah. So yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. I had coaching with this beautiful client of mine, and she was actually telling me how she went through something that was unfair and that was unpleasant, and how she came out of it as a winner. As you know, she said that she totally feels good about it, and she feels good about the fact that it happened because she knows that this is for her growth, and this is like something that just had to happen on her journey. And she's a young woman, and this was so just it was just so mind blown how far she came. And I'm really proud of her. I really am. I'm proud of all of you guys. I am so proud of you, because obviously life is tough and life is hard. And it's not just hard for psychics. And, sometimes I was thinking, oh my God, I wish I was like everybody else. And I had a lot of times in my life when I was like, I just want to be a regular person because I don't want to go through any difficult stuff, and I don't want to feel weird, and I don't want to feel judged, and I don't want to feel, you know, like a weirdo. And just, because my interests obviously are not like everybody's interests. And people can be like, oh, she's so weird. um, and I was thinking, if I was just a regular person, like I wouldn't have any problems. But that is so not true, because everybody has their stuff they need to go through and they need to learn. So it was also so shell of me to think that, honestly. I don't know why was I thinking that, but I guess when we are in our egos and we're like in victim mentalities, we tend to think that we're basically one of the rare people who have it hard or tough, and everybody else, just because they're not psychic, they don't have any problems, and nobody judges them and nobody thinks they're weird. So that was really silly, and I guess egoistical for me. um, so what I'm trying to say is it kind of feels like life, normal life. And it's probably the same experience you're having in your life. And I think this is the best way to explain it, because earlier I was like explaining it, oh, it's just it is a bit weird and it is hard and blah blah blah. But isn't everything? I mean, really, Svetlana, everything is difficult, and everybody thinks they're weird, and everybody thinks, oh, I'm having such a hard life, and everybody, has challenges, and they're just different, and they're in different areas, and they have different careers and different interests and all of that. But I guess how it feels is the same as it feels to be anyone else, basically. I think that's the most fair answer, and that's like the answer from a higher self perspective, truly. And the most realistic answer that's not coming from somebody, oh yes, it's strange, it's weird, it's, but everybody had things like that happen to them. So yeah, I don't know. I think that would be my answer. Like, if I really thought about it, and I actually did take some time to think about it and meditate on it just moments ago, because I really didn't know what to say. Um, it also feels normal, obviously, because it's just who I am and who I always was. And I always was interested in things like this. And it was always it was always me. Basically, it was always a me. So I think it feels comfortable, really, especially when you accept who you are. And I'm not just talking about being psychic in general. I think that a lot of us, a lot of people in general, they just don't want to accept who they truly are, and they kind of don't do the shadow work, which is so important. And you know that psychics always do shadow work, um, and there's a reason for it. It's so important. So nobody is perfect. We all have a shadow self, and we do need to really explore who we truly are, accept who we truly are, and absolutely try to be the best version of us. But that does come with accepting. And just when you accept yourself and you stop running away from yourself, um, you will really truly feel comfortable in your skin, and you will no longer be so triggered, and you will no longer be so reactive. And when somebody insults you, you will no longer be insulted because you're just going to be very confident, and you're going to understand, this is me, this is who I am, I know who I am. I'm like, you will have that validation from yourself, is what I'm saying. It's important part of the vibrational work we're doing here. So give yourself validation, you have to know who you are, and you have to accept who you are, and you have to kind of be okay with who you are. That is the most important thing. And maybe society will tell you that who you are is not okay because you don't have, I don't know, green eyes or whatever. But you're not here for others to validate you. And that's very important to understand. And often we don't feel, I mean, always, we don't feel secure. We feel insecure because of what others are saying and thinking about us. And we are not accepting us because of what others are saying and thinking about us. But, really big lesson in this experience, in this human experience, is discovering who you are, accepting who you are, and owning who you are, knowing who you are. So this audio is actually not about what it's like to be psychic. It's about what it's like to truly be yourself, and it's beautiful. It's not easy always, but once you kind of decide, okay, I'm gonna be me, it's really nice. And guys, I always tell you that to be magnetic, you don't need to get, I don't know, breast implants or plastic surgery or whatever, or to pretend to always be positive or to affirm. What you need to do is be yourself, but your true self, and your true self is what I'm saying in this audio. That's the topic of the audio. Your true self is the person you are without all the insecurities, without all the traumas that others bring on you, without all of that. Your true self, and that is magnetic. When somebody really knows who they are and they own it, that's the magnetic thing. And being confident is not about looking great and feeling beautiful and just like having the best, I don't know, clothes, makeup, whatever it is. It's not, confidence is not about that. Confidence is basically about knowing who you are and being okay with that. That is confidence, truly. And this is why we work on the stuff we work on, right? So I think that's everything I wanted to say. I hope this makes sense, and I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.